Hello, my dears. Welcome back to Golden Grace. If you're a woman over 60 who still loves to feel beautiful in her own skin, who values comfort and confidence, and who's learning to dress not for trends but for joy, you're in good company here. You see, I've come to understand that my closet isn't just full of clothes, it's full of memories. A blouse from my first girls' trip, shoes I danced in at my niece's wedding, pieces I once adored but now, they don't quite feel like me anymore. So today, I'm sharing 10 items I've lovingly let go of, not because they're wrong, but because I'm making space for a style that fits the woman I am now. Stick around, I think you'll relate to more than a few. And before we jump in, do me a favor. Subscribe to Golden Grace, and let me know in the comments. What city are you watching from? Item 1, the shacket. Now let me tell you about the first thing that quietly made its way out of my closet. The beloved shacket. Ah yes, the shacket. Half shirt, half jacket. It had its moment, didn't it? I remember when it started popping up everywhere. I held off for a while, wasn't sure something that boxy would flatter these softer, rounder curves of mine. But then I found one in a color that worked for me, gave it a try, and for a little while, I actually enjoyed it. It felt modern, a bit playful. But with time, that love faded. Now when I put it on, something just feels off. It doesn't move with me. It doesn't reflect the ease and confidence I've worked hard to grow into. At this stage, I want clothes that feel soft on my shoulders, easy on my back, and true to who I am now, not who I was chasing trends 5 years ago. So what do I reach for now instead of the shacket? Well, I've fallen in love with lightweight knit blazers and soft structured cardigans. They still give me that bit of polish, but without the stiffness or bulk. I look for ones with a gentle drape, maybe even a little stretch, something that flatters the shoulders without adding width and feels like a gentle hug instead of a chore to wear. It's amazing how the right fabric and cut can make you feel instantly more pulled together, without trying too hard. Item 2, the short shorts. Now let's talk about those short shorts. Yes, the kind with a 3-inch inseam that I used to wear every summer like clockwork. I'll be honest with you, there was a time I loved them. I wore them around the house, on walks, even to the grocery store with a cute top. Back then, I felt just fine showing a little leg. But lately, well, things have changed. You know how it is. As we get older, our bodies shift. The skin on our thighs isn't quite as firm as it once was. And if you're like me, anything too short starts to ride up the moment you take more than 5 steps. Not only is it uncomfortable, it's distracting. I found myself tugging and adjusting instead of enjoying the day. And you know what? That's when I realized it's not about hiding my legs. It's about feeling comfortable in them, feeling free to move, sit, and walk without constantly thinking about what might be showing or bunching up. So I let the short shorts go. No guilt, just grace. These days I reach for soft, mid-length shorts, Bermudas, or tailored 5-inch inseams in breathable fabrics like linen or lightweight cotton. They give me coverage, they flatter my shape, and most importantly, they let me live my day without fuss. It's not about being modest. It's about being at peace with your outfit and feeling like yourself in every step you take. Item 3, tie front cardigans. Now here's something I truly thought I'd keep forever. The tie front cardigan. I used to love the way it gave me a little shape around the waist, especially when layered over a dress. I had a few in soft, pretty colors, and they always made me feel like I had my look pulled together. Back then, that little tie felt like a clever detail, feminine, flattering, and just right for my figure. But lately, something's shifted. I tried one on not long ago and caught a glimpse of myself in the mirror. And instead of feeling styled, I felt dated. Like I was hanging on to an old version of myself. The tie, which once added charm, now just felt fussy. Too much adjusting, too much emphasis on a waistline that, frankly, doesn't need to be the star of the show anymore. So I've said goodbye to those tie front cardigans, not out of frustration, but with gratitude. They served me well. But now it's time for something that fits the woman I am today. These days, I lean toward open front cardigans with a clean silhouette. The kind that drapes softly without clinging or cinching. I look for lightweight knits that fall just past the hip, a length that flatters without overwhelming. And when they glide over the body instead of grabbing at it, there's this quiet elegance I've grown to love. They're effortless, easy to layer, and they let the rest of the outfit shine. No tying, no tugging, just grace in motion. Item 4. Duster cardigans with cutouts. Oh, how I used to adore these long, breezy duster cardigans, especially the ones with all those little cutout patterns. I had several tucked away in my closet in earth tones and soft neutrals. And back in the day, I wore them often, over jeans, over dresses, even lounging around the house when I wanted to feel just a little more put together. But one afternoon not long ago, I slipped one on, hoping it would add a nice layer to my outfit, and something just didn't feel right. I looked in the mirror and realized it looked tired. Not just the cardigan, but me in it. It didn't flatter my frame the way it used to. The long length pulled everything downward instead of lifting me up. And the cutout details, they no longer read as charming or boho, they read as outdated. It was hard to admit, but the truth is, my style has evolved. I no longer want to feel like I'm drowning in layers, especially as I've gotten shorter with age, as many of us do. A long, shapeless cardigan just doesn't do me any favors anymore. It hides more than it helps. And now, I go for cardigans that stop at the hip or just below. They still provide coverage, but they offer structure too. I look for pieces with clean lines, maybe a subtle texture or a soft collar. Something that feels light on the shoulders, easy on the back, and gives me shape without clinging. It's amazing how shortening that hemline can lift not just the outfit, but my whole mood. Item 5. Statement bomber jackets. This next one? Oof, it took me a little while to admit it, but it's time. I had this bomber jacket, you know the kind. Bold colors, floral print, slightly puffy sleeves. I found it on sale at Kohl's a few years ago and thought, why not? It felt fun, fresh, and just a little bit daring, which at the time was exactly what I wanted. And truthfully, I did enjoy it for a while. I wore it to the movies, to dinner, even tossed it over a basic outfit just to give it some flair. It made me feel like I was still in the game, so to speak. But lately when I look at it, I don't feel bold. I feel like I'm holding on to a version of myself that doesn't quite fit anymore. The loud prints, the shiny fabric, the cropped cut, it all feels a little too busy, a little too young for the calm confidence I've grown into. And here's the thing. As we get older, our style often softens, not in a dull way. Oh no, but in a refined way. We start to crave clothing that complements rather than competes, that lets us shine instead of the outfit doing all the talking. So the bomber jacket? It's out. What I reach for now are structured yet simple jackets, lightweight denim in a soft wash, or a collarless blazer that adds shape without fuss. They still give me that finished look, but with a quieter confidence. They don't need to shout to make a statement, and neither do we. Item 6. Skinny jeans. Now I know this next one might stir up some feelings, because I held on to my skinny jeans for years. They were my go-to with boots, long tops, you name it. I loved how they hugged my legs and made me feel just a little taller. But lately, I find myself avoiding them. Every time I put on a pair, I feel like I'm fighting with fabric. They pinch, they cling, and they remind me of a version of myself that doesn't quite fit anymore, literally and emotionally. So I've swapped them for straight-leg jeans. They're kinder to my hips, easier on the knees, and they give me room to move and breathe. Two things I value more than ever these days. Because looking good should never mean feeling restricted. Not anymore. Item 7. Ruffled cardigans. This next one, while it used to make me feel unique, ruffled cardigans. I had one in a soft plum color that I thought was just the prettiest thing, feminine, playful, a little different from the usual. But here's the truth. I haven't reached for it in years. Every time I see it hanging there, I think, maybe one day. But that day never comes. The ruffles that once felt charming now feel a bit fussy. And on my frame, with softer shoulders and a fuller bust, they add volume where I don't want it. It's not that I don't love texture or detail anymore, but these days I prefer it in smaller doses. A gentle ribbed knit, a beautiful fabric, a clean line, something that flatters without overwhelming. So the ruffled cardigans? They've had their moment. Now I'm reaching for simpler layers that let me shine, not the frill. Item 8. Tunic cover-ups. Now this one brings back memories, because at one point I thought I was being so clever. I had this swimsuit cover-up, light, flowy, a little sheer, and I started wearing it as a tunic top. I'd layer it over a tank, pair it with my skinny jeans, and I'll admit, it made a pretty cute outfit. I even got compliments. It felt like one of those fun little fashion hacks that made me think, why buy more when you can get creative? But lately, when I see it hanging there, I don't feel inspired. I feel stuck in a style that doesn't quite work anymore. The fabric's too flimsy, the shape too boxy, and it just doesn't feel flattering now that my shape has softened and my shoulders need something a bit more structured. So I've let it go. But that doesn't mean the idea has to disappear. These days, I look for longer tops that are actually designed to be worn as part of an outfit, like soft tunics with side slits or flowing blouses that feel graceful but still give shape. Because creativity is wonderful, but comfort and intention? That's even better. Final thoughts. So there you have it, my friend. 8 pieces I've lovingly let go of, not because they were mistakes, but because they no longer reflect the woman I am today. And that's the beauty of style at our age. It evolves with us. We dress for comfort, for confidence, and most of all, for joy. Now I'd love to hear from you. What's one thing you've let go of in your closet lately? Or something new you've added that makes you feel fabulous? Let's chat in the comments. And if you enjoyed spending time together today, don't forget to subscribe to Golden Grace. I've got so much more to share, and I'd love for you to be part of it.